I don't like tears or anything like that, but I must say I get a little lump in my throat when I realize that this is the last time the first 100 will be all together like this, and it's been a wonderful year. A lot of people think that this is the way the college is going to be, and it's operating, and it's established, and it's nowhere near. We're like an airplane going down the runway, ready to take off, and the nose is lifted, but the plane hasn't taken off yet. The wheels are still on the runway, and it's not until we get those wheels off the runway, which will probably be in the next 3 years.
The plane certainly came off the runway. It took more than 2 years. It was a 3 or 4 year venture to really get it going. The place a school is really important, because in another 20 years, many of these students will even forgotten who their teachers were. They might have even forget what the buildings are like, but they'll never forget the trees and the sea. And I really think that's what attracts the people back here. You come up over that top hill coming down here, and there's the old growth forest, and then you see through to Petter Bay, and that's what they'll remember the rest of their lives, wherever they are. We looked at 57 different sites around here on the island, and I'd heard about Petter Bay, and we came in a boat, and as soon as this point was, the rest of the land was still completely forested, but this point was bare just as it is now. And we just stopped out in the water and we looked at it and we said, that's going to be it. And we decided before we even came ashore. And then as we walked over it, we realized what a magnificent place it was. Another reason for choosing this place is we wanted to be far enough away from Victoria that you had to plan to get there. It was accessible, but you couldn't just go there on the spur of the moment. And so this becomes a nest. And there's some disadvantages of having people in a nest. They've got to be able to get out of it when they want, and they can that's why we had the students driving their own van and driving the school vans and so on. But the sea is the other one. You know, you can, there's a relief out there, and that's where my relief is. That's where I used to do my thinking in 2 places, one sitting right here, and the other out at sea, either by myself or with the other students. I'd often take 6 or 8 students with me and discuss the issues of the college with them out there, rather than in my office or any place like that. Before the students arrived, we had the faculty meet, and our first decision was that we didn't know how to run an international school. And it was a really important decision, because we decided that we would make as little definite plans as possible until the students got here. And then we were going to involve the students in deciding how this place runs, how, in every detail, when classes would be. There were some limitations, of course. They had to do the International Baccalaureate, but what services we'd be involved in and so on. And we did this in the form of a village meeting. And that's been the key to this place. It's a real key to this place.
That was just a wonderful, wonderful beginning for us.
Everybody who's been here, just the way the place is run, I hope and I believe it's working. They will be kind to people they meet. They'll be friendly with people they meet, and they would, if they get on an elevator, rather than go up the elevator in silence in the middle of New York, they would say hello to who's ever standing beside them. I remember a beautiful girl from the Philippines, and she'd got so used to saying hello to people here for 2 years. When she went home, she walked down the main street in Manila and was saying hello to the people as they walked by, and the people would turn and look back at her like this and men started to follow her, and she realized that she just had 2 years of saying hello to everybody. And that sounds like a simple thing, but it's not simple. It's really serious. If you're not pleasant and open and honest with everybody you work with, you're not making the world a better place. And if you are always willing to help people, willing to do community service, willing to be kind to people who are having difficulties, that's what it's all about. And you can do it on an individual basis. And some people, like the organization Doctors Without Borders, they're trying to do it in a macro scale, but it really starts in a small scale. It's rather interesting, you know, there are now books out on conflict resolution, and people are talking about it and teaching it in schools and so on. I'd never heard the word when we started, those words when we started the college. We never talked about conflict resolution. We talked about peace and people working together and so on, but we weren't consciously trying to teach conflict resolution. The students are coming away, and when they leave here, with expectations on themselves. They're you know, it's not from outside, it's from inside. And often their expectations are too big, too broad. They think they're going to change the world. And we used to have some examples of people that have changed the world come here, like some of the leaders of the world would drop in, and I used to say, well, look at what one person can do. And I think maybe I overdid it. It's unfortunate if they think that they can't go and learn a trade and have a family and build their life without having any international stuff. I know it's there, and I don't know just what to do about it, to tell you the truth. They do. Mind you, even when they're here, the students drive themselves. You put a bunch of good people together, adventurous people, because they've left their country and their home and their culture and their mother and father when they're 16 years old and come here in the middle of the woods in Canada. That's an adventurous person. And so they are adventurous, they are energetic even before they get here. Then you put a group like that together and you get a tremendous head of steam built up, and then they leave with that steam. Some people aren't able to handle it, you know. They think they should be doing something fantastic or something really unusual, and that's not what we want. We just want them to live their life.